Good morning, folks. This is Shameless P with the Morning Sports Report. I want to talk a little bit today about one of the greats, one of the NBA pioneers, Spencer Haywood. And, I'm going to take a couple of clips from the Vince Carter Show, courtesy of them, just to let him tell you about some of the things that the league, players, owners did to keep him from being able to play as a high schooler. And he also talks about, you can see it on Vince Carter's show to see the full tape, but he also talks about how LeBron would be missing about 8,000 points had the rule not changed and he had to go to college. So Spencer Haywood, we salute you. Big Mike Brown always talked about you, as one of the pioneers and one of the greats. Kareem said he wanted to play you because you were one of the greats, and we salute you for all the things you did for basketball. To all the big men, salute Bob Lanier, salute Tina Turner.
Seattle, when with the Sonics, Lenny Wilkins was a player coach, and he had on his uniform. Rod Thorne was the assistant coach. He had on his uniform.
Wow.
Tom Macheri, who is, in the Golden State ceiling, he was the associate coach. So let me just cut it into it. We went to Cincinnati first, and they said, we got an injunction for Spencer Haywood, and they put me out into the snow because the injunction read this particular night, well, he cannot stay in the locker room and stay warm. We want to put him out into the snow. We're going to break his spirit. So they put me out into the snow, and the security and the police that was guarding me because I couldn't violate the injunction, they just got angry at how I was being treated. So they put me in the car and said, we're going to lose our job. I don't care. So they protected me that particular night.
And Spencer, let it be known that I remember you telling me this, that they put you out in the snow in your uniform. Yeah, you didn't get a chance to change. Yeah. You were in your uniform.
I didn't get a chance to change. So I was out with my uniform, and I had my snap warm-ups on the bottom, but it was freezing. And then I get another injunction to play after that injunction ran out for 10 games. Then I get into Chicago, your friend Michael Jordan, you guys from North Carolina and all of that. But anyway, I get into Chicago. The great Hall of Famer Chet Walker saw me warming up on one end, and the Chicago Bulls say that you're hurt. And so he said, looking at Spencer warm up and dunking, I hurt my ankle. So the Bulls sued me for $600,000. Yeah.
Wait, why?
Because I wasn't a member. Huh?
Why were they suing you?
Yeah,
why
go ahead,
were they suing you for that amount of what was their ground?
Well, the whole idea was whole idea was to break the spirit of me so that I would just give it up, and you would have your 4-year rule, because it was being funded by the NC2A and Duke Energy and those kind of funds that were there, because they were preaching that, if this rule is defeated, we are going to lose all of our revenue in college. Which was not so, but that was the whole preaching point of view. And then our guys would not be educated and blah, blah, blah. So I finally got a chance to play, and then we had worked our way to the Supreme Court, and Thurgood Marshall says, under the Sherman Antitrust Act, I am going to grant Haywood the right to play, and thus the change of basketball and football forever, NFL and NBA. And I still wasn't a member of the Players Association.
I took a few excerpts from the Vince Carter Show to let people understand it's not always a conspiracy theory. It's not always someone with some elaborate thoughts of grandeur. Sometimes people actually do collude, businesses collude to stop what's going to be better for, I guess, the individual, or not the top of the mountain, but the people. So we have to make sure that we are a little more cognizant of the way we interpret information and the way we put our word sound out there in the public. Because if you're a part of the media, you're on radio, what have you, TV, the things you say are looked at, and people who don't necessarily do their research may get the wrong conclusion.
So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, where normally the teams would they would come out on the floor and see me warming up, and they would take their teams downstairs, or they would sue me because it was part of the Players Association, because they had convinced the players, the Jerry West, the Wilt Chamberlain, all of those greats, that if this guy wins this case, you and your family is going to be out on the street, because we're going to have a lot of Vince Carters, Spencer Haywood, Kobe's, and all of them coming into the league, and they're going to push you right out on the street. So they didn't support me. And Kareem wouldn't go downstairs. Kareem said, well, no, I want to play against Wood. Man, we've been battling each other, not physically yet, but we wanted to see we were the two best players.
We do everything we do here, Silver to Platinum and ShamelessPTV, comes from a place of no hate. Yes, we do have our own views. Yes, we have a lot of fun, but we don't hate anybody. You do what you do. Privacy of your own home is your own business. Have a great day. Shameless. Today's segment was sponsored by Copa Force One, Maricopa, Arizona.